All right. I think it says we're live. Good evening. My name is Alyson Noune. It is Monday night, 10:40 in the evening on August 16th, 2021. This is the third time that I have gone live. Two reasons why it's a little bit later tonight. The first one, I'm not going to lie, is because I'm still a little bit of a chicken shit and don't really want to have too many people that may tune in just simply because it will be a whole nother thing to get used to when people are tuning in, if people tune in, and if and when they comment. And I also had to work later tonight at the farm. So, all right, just having a chat, tea with myself, and just practicing being in the moment and speaking without any worry. In fact, it's funny, I love these yogi teas. They have messages on them. And the tea bag I grabbed this evening says, "Speak to make yourself happy. Don't speak to impress others." Pretty appropriate, since there's a lot of pressure. For me, there's still pressure that I have to battle to not be concerned about impressing anybody, or, I have to be very detached from anybody's reactions. Anybody's reactions, good or bad, is their business. And all I'm trying to do is honor myself and be a conduit of the best messages that I can be when I decide to turn on the camera. So the title, Confidence, Spirituality. Well, this is still playing around with my coursework. This online marketing course that I am taking with a gentleman named Mark Atwood continues to be an absolute whirlwind of energy. We're only 2 weeks into the course, and it is centered around internet marketing and specifically search engine optimization and keywords. So it's all about how you title your videos and putting in a lot of things behind the scenes. It's a bit counterintuitive for me. It's opposite of how I like and how I have been, handling all of my videos. But there's a reason I've had a YouTube channel for over 8 years and still only have 100 subscribers. It's not about the numbers, not at all, but I am working and have been to try to get myself to a place where I'm able to support myself doing the work of my soul, is how I reference it, doing what I'm passionate about, and waking up every day and giving my energy to things and efforts out in the world that most make my soul sing. And so far, I am not able to pay my bills doing that. And this course, among other things, is aiming to get us, many of us taking it, through some of our money issues and also just the practical aspects of the internet. So I was leaning towards titling it Humility in Confidence. And that is the title of my second podcast episode that was recorded just over a year ago. Because a lot has been coming up to the surface with me regarding my confidence as a result of this course, as a result of taking the next step in terms of putting myself out there more authentically, more honestly, to potentially, bigger audiences, or to be seen by more people, just in an effort to attract. There are people out there, I know, that, for whom the information, the stories, the lessons, the knowledge, the wisdom, the experiences, all the things that I'm feeling drawn to share in all the different ways. I know that there's an energy, multiple energies out there in the world that sort of match that on the other end. But the only way that I'm going to find that is to have the courage to put out a bigger call with the energy, especially because the umbrella of all of my work is the world of spirituality. And although the world of spirituality, I think, is it's really hard to bring words to it. We are living in very powerfully shifting times. But one of the challenging experiences I had last week was reconnection with a very old friend that I had not seen in over a decade. And like most people from my past, very successful in sort of the mainstream world, and sort of what I referenced, the third dimension in the mainstream world. And it was pretty uncomfortable at times in our conversation, just because of the vast gap there in terms of how we're interpreting present day activities and what's transpiring and our viewpoints. And so that kind of brings me to, what is it that I need to be more confident in present day as I speak my truth? For me, I'm not somebody that can speak to the shift in consciousness from the facts of the 3D world and what has been transpiring for not just a small number of years, not just decades, not just hundreds of years, but thousands of years. We have been manipulated and controlled, and the greatness and the greater capacities of what we're able to be and do have been held back, and that has been manipulated. In the past year and a half, I've learned a lot more than what I knew about how that's being done. I'm not here to speak to that aspect of things. I don't have all the facts to what's really going on in the world to be able to share that or even direct people to where to find it. I can direct people to others that are sharing that information. But for me, what I've been focused on and what I feel my soul is here to do in the world of spirituality and just in this vessel is, I believe we are shifting into a very, very, very different world and a very different reality. And I have personally spent the last 18 years, the last 10 years, aligning my own individual life to that, which includes trying to understand and feel what I think my role is on the one great human team. I have very, very strong feelings and intuitions and visions of, and I have since I was little, of this very different version of Earth, this very different reality. And I have been working to do everything that I can in my present moment with my entire life to try to be that change, to try to align every bit of my life, even when I would come up against the limitations of the third dimension, which was pretty much all the time, and to keep blowing through those limitations, to not be afraid to be and approach things from a higher perspective, from breaking all the rules of the third dimension, whether it was the way that I handled money, whether it was the way that I started my business, whether it was the way that I'm trying to define work. It was having the courage to follow the vision that I saw so clearly within myself, even though I hadn't yet seen that around me manifested in the physical. That's what I think I'm here to sort of be a leader of. And I had to start with my own life. We have to start with our own life. That's the only thing over which we have any control. But I am now personally at a place where I am starting to attract into my world others who have been doing the same type of work. And that is the magic that is being revealed in this course. And I continue to just be blown away by the people and the connection and the energy. And these people are literally across the planet. And I don't think that that is an accident. I don't believe in accidents. I don't believe in coincidences. It was always going to happen like this. And now that I have spent and practiced for years aligning myself to these greater truths, aligning myself to this version of the world that was abundant instead of based on lack, to this world that was based in cooperation as opposed to the competition, to a world based and founded on love and not fear. Now is the time, as I start drawing in others who have been doing the same, to begin to put that into what I call inspired action. And that is pretty exciting. Oh, look at this. I've got somebody watching. I've never, forgive me as I kind of 3 a.m. in the UK and I can't stay for the whole line, but so happy to catch this. Oh, no worries. 3:50. What are you doing? Why are you awake? Thank you for catching just a little bit. I'm just practicing, and I myself am tuning in kind of late. But thank you for tuning in. It's still sort of weird how, you're all the way across the planet, yet we're connecting in the live moment. And I'm really big on energy, and each moment has a unique energy. And I don't know, I like honoring the now moment, which is why I'm also making myself practice more of these nows, these lives, because it represents the now moment. Yeah, so Tipsy Monkey is tuning in. So from the United Kingdom. Many people in our course are from the UK. And in fact, today I had a fantastic conversation. Too much energy. I don't even know Tipsy Monkey is a female or a male, but happy to be here. Too much energy to sleep. Yeah, actually, I have been finding that as well. In fact, I can honestly say that I have not had a stretch of energy like this since 2013, where I'm up until like 2 a.m. and then I pop out of bed like at 7, and I just cannot seem to stay asleep. Everything, and it's really hard to to put a finger on what it is exactly. It's just, I can feel it. And I feel like everything is about to pop in huge ways across the planet. And, for some, it might be kind of a negative pop. For those, I think, that are still awake, it's going to be perhaps a not so easy next few months. But for those of us who have been doing the work, for those of us that have already gone through the dark night of the soul, or multiple dark nights of the soul, we've been kind of waiting for this. This is unprecedented. This is magical. We're like alive at the precipice of an evolutionary shift of the whole species. Like, how is that not absolutely, positively exciting? So of course we're having trouble sleeping. Female. Okay. So she's having trouble sleeping. Oh, you're Chris on Mark's course. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, Mark's course has definitely been the primary impetus for all of this energy. I honestly feel like I'm on a rocket ship. And, we joke, some of us in the class, that, the spaceships are around, and are we going to get beamed up? I think we might already be beamed up, or at least a part of our consciousness is. And we are just like in this trippy place of beginning to manifest it in form. And it is really a lot to feel and to express. In fact, I feel like I'm not, I don't really have a lot of, eloquence tonight, or a lot of words, because it has just been off the charts for these past 2 weeks. In fact, last week, Chris, I don't know if you saw, but when we went live on Mark's course, Mark, he's got a huge following on his YouTube channel. And with like 10 minutes notice, he put up in the Telegram, okay, I'm going live on YouTube. Who wants to talk about the course? And I was blown away by the fact that with 10 minutes notice, that's it, we had 8 females on there representing 7 different countries. I can't tell you what that means, but I can tell you that everything within me feels like that wasn't an accident. That was so profound when you think about, like, I kind of imagine the planet, and I think about where everybody was and how we were all connecting in, and it was like shooting our light up and connecting and playing with this energy, and just blasting the whole planet with all of this positivity. It was, I mean, I'm just buzzing. I'm buzzing all the time since joining that course. And I'm just having kind of a hard time staying in the present moment because I'm so excited for what's coming. But I also feel as if, really sitting and being with the energy and celebrating. See, I come from a past of being a little bit, who am I kidding? I was a lot OCD. I was an overachiever and I was always focused on the achievement. It was always about the end point. It was never about the journey. And the journey was actually not, it was never about it, and it wasn't very fun. Now I've matured and finally wisened up, and I understand that it's all about the journey. It's not about the end point. So from that understanding and that perspective, God, I just want to like suck the marrow out of each moment and feel how magical it is that we're all connecting. And, are we all the same soul tribe? I think we might be. I mean, at least some of us in there are part of the same soul family. Can you feel energy through the screen? Yes, that was amazing. Global representatives there. Just wow. Yeah, I can feel the energy through the screen. In fact, there's another woman in the class. She was on that call, Jo from Australia. I have spoken with Jo a couple of times on Telegram and on Zoom, and I'm not kidding. When our conversation ends, it's like I'm reverberating. It almost feels like I'm disoriented. I can't explain it. It's just like the energies are quickening. They're accelerating. I think time is flying by, and I think it's going to increase and go by even faster, which is hard to imagine. And I think that's going to make it challenging to remain in the now and not get too far ahead of us, but also not get overwhelmed with our 3D aspects of the now. I just think we have to surrender. I just think we have to let go and, let the energy and be more playful with it and not, as regimented and just see what happens. The interesting thing is we're all in this course and we're pushing through a lot of sort of practical 3D things. So it's such a dichotomy of, of handling things in the version of the world that we're still in, and giving us the tools so all of us can be more successful in that world, have more resources, have more time, have more opportunity to do what our passions are, to do what our souls are here to do. But also, we are literally, I think, part of the crew that's paving the way for where we're going. And holy shit, like, that's fantastic. And I just cannot wait to see where we're going. But at the same time, I don't want to miss and take for granted each and every moment leading up to that. And so I just have so much gratitude and so much appreciation for Mark, for Monique, and for every single person that followed their gut and took this course. It is really just unbelievable. I definitely have faced a little bit of, I feel like I'm compromising certain aspects of myself by, for example, titling this video. It doesn't even make sense the way that it's titled, but the key word is a low SEO, and it has a cost per click, so now I'm using all this terminology. So it's a good word to use to title the video, but it doesn't, it doesn't flow. It doesn't really make sense. So it's really tough for me. And I feel like I'm compromising by, bringing my work, which is way up here, down into and making it fit into, the 3D stuff. I'm really, the past couple of days, I've really had some stuff come to the surface where it's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just definitely challenged with wondering, are you, do you want to go about it this way? But I keep coming back to, yes, because I want to make money. I want to be able to support myself so I can do this all the time. I've got so many projects in motion, And Mark's class is allowing me to connect them all. And I can taste it. I think that's actually the excitement that a lot of us feel, because he makes it, I think a lot of us can feel how likely it is, because like he said, he guarantees it. If we do what he says, he guarantees that we are going to have success, that we are going to draw in the earnings to be able to, break free from all of our regular jobs, for any of us that still aren't able to do that. And I think all of us can feel how close that is. I mean, it literally might be just a couple of months away, and we all might be doing that. And I've been waiting 8 years for this. I've been waiting my whole life for this, but I took a huge leap of faith 8 years ago, and literally naively thought that 1 year I would have it all off the ground. And here I am, 8.5 years 8.5 years later, and I still haven't made a penny. It's hilarious, actually. But I have so much work that's actually done. I just haven't been able to put it in the encasement of the 3D. So it's such a trip. It's such a trip, because I know I need to actually bring it down to the encasements. I mean, that's what we're all, in order for us in the group to each be able to begin to collaborate in the 5-dimensional energy, we first have to know what each of us, what our skill sets are, what our fortes are, what our interests are, what our passions are. And that's what his course is going to allow us to present to one another. We're going to get to see, and then we'll get to feel where the collaborations can go. Oh my God. I don't know, Chris, if you happen to see, I kind of went, I was a little embarrassed. I went on a little rant. It was a positive rant, but a little rant with the group today. But I had to, because I was inspired by 2 women in the course. Okay. Megan did a fantastic, short, but fantastic interview where she was just like, enough is enough. Stop making yourself perfect. You guys need to get out there. We need to get out there and shine our light. So I was like, hells yeah. Shit, like she just, that energy. And then Carrie is the one who does this amazing art. Like her art, like vibrates when you look at it. It's unbelievable. And she's in Scotland. She is a beautiful soul. And she does a show with another woman named Gladys. And I watched their show last night, and Carrie, man, she was on fire in terms of just finding her power. And she's like, enough is enough. I am done apologizing. I'm done accepting people treating me like shit. I'm going after, and I'm going to be the light that I am. So that energy was just like flowing in me. So this morning I just was like, man, let's start collaborating. And why I had to share is because this idea, this project that I have called Ripple 2020, I don't really want to go off too much on it right now, but suffice to say, there is no doubt in my mind that right now, if we look at right now in the here and now, the groundwork that I have laid and the intentions that I have set for that project, and it is 8 years in the making. It's the 4th iteration. I have oodles, like it's the real deal. I know it is intended to be connected with people in the class. I know it. I know it. Ripple 2020 is a project that's set out to raise $4 million by $1 increments, and then to redistribute that money out after paying taxes on it, which is a huge chunk, after paying all the middle people like PayPal and Venmo and all that crap. A huge amount of money is going to be gone, but the rest of it, every single penny, is then going to go out to a list of predetermined beneficiaries. And the whole goal is to infuse this energy that we call money in a different way to people who really, of the 5th dimension, to people for whom money has been challenging to artists, to spiritual people, to people of all wakes and walks of life. And this project, I mean, that's kind of it in a nutshell. And I have had lists and lists going in my head over the years of beneficiaries. And I really want people who are heart based for real, right? Who are for real about co creating the new earth and aligning to the new earth. Those are the people that I want as the beneficiaries. And I was going to launch this project by July 4th, and I came to a screeching halt. And then lo and behold, 4 weeks later, Mark announces his course. And I just know it. I know that we are going to get a handful of beneficiaries, at least a handful, from the class. And this project, I know that is my role with our group and what I can do right now. So that is what I had to put out there with confidence today. And the confidence, man, is it tough to stand tall. It is tough to stand tall and be confident when you have no money, you have no status, you're not at the top of any freaking hierarchy. Like I have 100 subscribers. It's like, what do I have? I don't have anything. Not that I personally need anything from the 3D to validate who I am. I don't need that. But to take an idea like that and to come into the world with confidence, yet I am 100% confident and know my ability to serve as a conduit for this example, for this project. There's not a single doubt in my mind. Even if I die and leave this body, I'm leaving behind instructions on how that money should be distributed. It will not get distributed. So I had to bring it up to the class. I had to, because I definitely think that it weaves into how and why we're all coming together. Let's see, what Megan really called us to action. Absolutely, she did. We'll have to find Carrie. Sacred synchronicity, without a doubt. And that is another thing that I don't think is, I'm going to mention it again. I mentioned it in the last live, but the fact that Mark, and I remember the episode that I watched when he was interviewing, who was it? I can't remember the guy's name. I remember his face when Mark revealed that he only had lived in one place in the States, and it was Sarasota. And he had extremely fond memories. And then he was gifted the Celestine prophecy while he was here in the town that I live in. And the Celestine prophecy, if you were going to sum it up in one word, is about synchronicities. Holy shit. Like, again, I don't know what it all means. I just know that it's magical. It's absolutely, positively magical. And I, for one, I just want to play. I have spent the majority of this life convincing and proving, especially as a female in a 5-foot body. Convince and prove. I ain't convincing and proving nobody of nothing anymore. I'm not doing anything to try to debate anybody, to try to, make myself look better than anybody. All I've ever wanted to do is to be able to be the complete me, which is pretty crazy, and a lot of different aspects of myself and a lot of energy. Just to be able to have the space in the room to be that, to grow, to change, to expand, and to play with others doing the same thing without all the constrictions of the bullshit world. Like, that's all I've ever wanted to do is co-create. And we're there. It's already started. I swear to you, I really do think that, it's all consciousness. So without a doubt, and we're multidimensional beings, that's the fact. So we've got aspects of ourselves that are already being expressed simultaneously in different dimensions. So we're already up on the spaceship, but we're also simultaneously right here in the physical, taking that spaceship energy and manifesting it into a different version of reality that the world hasn't yet seen in mass. We get to pave the way. Like, what an honor. Like, what an honor that is. And it's, I don't know about you, but I also am like, always find myself tremendously humbled by the experience. Like, just absolutely humbled by divine, by how God, the cosmos, source, creation works and operates. Like, it's so, it's it's just awestruck. It's so crazy when you think about, especially when you start studying the synchronicities in your life. That was one of the first things I did after my awakening. I mean, I always knew and was always connecting and making everything mean something. You can ask anybody from my childhood, as any time in my life. I've always done that. But when I had my point of no return spiritual awakening, everything made sense at a whole nother level. Because when you have your awakening, you remember that you're like, you awaken to your soul's purpose, well beyond Alyson, well beyond just this life. Your soul, your soul's journey, your soul's purpose, and it, everything connected and lined up with even greater meaning, which I didn't even think was possible. And all I've been doing is trying to align to that and get, and build my day-to-day life to that energy. And it has taken, like any of us on the journey can talk to and speak to, it comes with tremendous sacrifice. It comes with, you gotta face the pains, and the pains don't stop. The healing never stops. Another woman that's in the class, Joanne Dunn, she's also fantastic, and I have been following her for a while before the class. She has a YouTube channel, and today she resumed after having some weeks off, and she had a great line, and she said, "The healing never ends." And I think it was pretty exact quote there, but the gist of it, we never stop healing. Just when you think you got something all resolved within you, if you get cocky about it, the universe will smack you upside the head and bring it up to you in a totally different, through a totally different experience or way, just to remind you that, the journey never ends. There is no end point. And as long as you keep growing and keep expanding, then, you're going to have things come to the surface for release, for softening, for forgiveness, for healing. And so that, that aspect never ends, nor would we want it to end. That is what makes it, when you feel good, feel so damn good. You wouldn't feel good if you didn't know what it felt like to feel shitty, and so I don't know. I'm just completely stoked. I am completely inspired. I am inspired. And, I don't get, nothing in the 3D world has ever inspired me. And, you don't meet, I haven't met, certainly not a group of people representing this energy. So that's why we can't sleep, for God's sake. The energy is just, it's like pulling us. I don't know if you watched my last one, but I spoke about the difference between motivation and inspiration. Motivation is 3D, it's push. To get motivated for something, you push through. You got to push through, at least how I see it, push through more of the 3D stuff. When you're inspired, you're pulled. The energy of inspiration pulls you. And, our job is just to allow it to pull us, and don't restrict it. Don't put the third dimensional labels on it. Don't put the, all the reasons why we shouldn't allow it, because a lot of times it doesn't make sense. From the surface level, it doesn't make sense. I've often said to people, you're on the spiritual journey when you make at least one whopper of a decision that nobody in your life can agree to, to see it as a good decision. But you yourself know it's a decision you have to make. It's one of my many hypotheses. As I meet more people on the journey, I'm so excited to hear what what it's been for them, this particular aspect. Because for me, there's no more perfect opportunity for self-validation than when literally nobody or nothing outside of you can give you the validation for something unseen, but that through and through in your heart that you have to do. I almost feel like everybody has to do at least one thing like that to really break through and really know what it is to be your own guide, to be your own coach, to be able to follow the intuition and follow the energy. And this is where we're going. Intuition is what's going to guide. You know, in a sovereign world, we are our own guides. And boy, collectively, we got a lot of people that are going to need a lot of guidance and coaching on how to do that. And you start by being the damn example. And you have to, you have to start with yourself. You've got to walk the walk. You can't, I always say, I want to make a t-shirt. I got a lot of t-shirt ideas. And one of them is, you can't bullshit the universe. You can't bullshit the universe. You can't fake your way through this. And less as we progress, like almost by the day, you cannot fake this. You have to walk the walk. And it's an easy walk if you don't resist. But if you resist, it can be challenging. What time do we have here? 36 minutes. Okay. So it's probably been long enough to practice and to have a little energy exchange. Oh my God, Chris, I'm so happy that you tuned in. It's perfect. See, that's the other thing. I'll end on this note, because I'm not looking to I don't want 100,000 people fan. I don't even know if I want 1,000 people, that are fans or followers. I just want to be able, there's so much richness and depth that the third dimensional world has not been structured in a way that allows us to really connect, especially when you start talking about work and going out in the work. And the way I define work is simply going out into the world, going out into the communities in which we live, going out into society and meeting needs and wants and aligning that to our passions and talents and skill sets. That's all work is. And it's intended to be fun. So we don't have a world of work that allows for more intentional groups to come together. And Margaret Mead, I'm bouncing all over the place, but one of my favorite quotes is Margaret Mead said something like, "Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. It's all that ever has," something like that. A small group of people with this fifth dimensional energy, with agreed upon intention, and everybody agreeing to play a particular role, holy shit. We're going to be able to do what a company the size of Microsoft can do with 100,000 people. We're going to be able to do with a group of 5, energetically speaking. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind. So I am just, I already lost my tangent. About the number of people. I prefer having smaller groups and connecting with, being able to talk and know that I'm connecting to if I had 1,000 people on here, you can't connect to any of them. Having one from on the surface in the 3D, it's like, you're such a loser. Your channel sucks. Like, you have 100 subscribers and you've been around for 8 years. Yeah, you suck. But no, it's not about bigger is better where we're going. It's about the quality. It's about the depth. It's about smaller and deeper instead of bigger and less. And so I'm honored that you tuned in and that you stuck around, because I don't know, it doesn't feel like I was really doing or saying anything that was very eloquent or poignant, but it was really fun to exchange energy with you here tonight. in the moment, in the live moment. So I thank you very, very much. Oh my God. This is so, oh my God. Oh, I'm just going to take a moment just to be with the energy because it's just amazing. It's just amazing where we're going. And I mean, if I sit with it too long, I could be brought to tears. I really could. I really could because it's just it's so special what we have a chance to be and do. And I feel so badly that so many are missing, are missing out on this. And we can't do anything about that. We can't force anybody to, feel this and see this until they're ready. But obviously, maybe you're guessing by my reaction that I've had a lifetime of people close to me, not being able to see the world in this way, and I allowed that to shut my light out for a huge chunk of this life. So I have a lot of making up to do in terms of allowing myself to shine this bright and to attract all the others out there who also are ready to shine brightly, because every single one of us in form is intended to shine and to be happy and to have a passion, a life filled with passion and joy and connection and meaning and fulfillment. And we get to pave the way. So thank you so very much for tuning in. And I'm sure I'll see you on Telegram later in the week. So I'm gonna end stream now. Thank you so much. See you later. And to anybody that tunes in later, thank you. Have a great night, and we'll talk again soon.